This will be a big page-turning week for Democrats, and the party's new leader hopes it allows her to begin a new chapter with voters. Hillary Clinton over the weekend blessed more liberal convention platform planks on health care and the minimum wage. As a reward, she will travel to New Hampshire on Tuesday, and I'm told she will receive the endorsement of primary rival Bernie Sanders. Now, not all Sanders supporters are happy, in part because the Vermont senator did not get the trade plank in the platform, changed to his liking. Still, this is a big deal. There were two big clouds over Clinton as she prepared for her convention. One was whether Sanders would join the fold. The other was the FBI investigation into her private email server as Secretary of State. That investigation wrapped up this past week with the decision not to seek criminal charges. Now, Republicans are screaming double standard, saying any average American who was so sloppy with classified information would be prosecuted. FBI Director James Comey calmly and repeatedly told them they were wrong.
No, in fact, I think my entire goal was to avoid a double standard, to avoid what sometimes prosecutors call celebrity hunting and doing something for a famous person that you would never do for an ordinary Joe or Jane.
Whatever you think of the ultimate decision by the FBI and the Justice Department, that dude is one cool customer. Jim Comey, a very impressive guy, handled himself very well. Are the clouds gone? Hillary Clinton's 2/3 of Americans still don't trust her, but at least it's over.
Depends on who you ask. I mean, the Clinton folks were actually pretty happy about Comey's testimony because it turned someone who was a neutral actor and a Republican into a Clinton defender for 5 hours on the Hill. And I think that ultimately his initial statements left so much room for interpretation. People could have looked at it anyway, and it raised a lot of questions. But he was forced to sit in front of Republicans and basically say, not only would I not have criminally prosecuted her, but I wouldn't have criminally prosecuted a civilian for doing that. They might have faced other consequences, but they wouldn't necessarily have gone to jail. So, you know, I think that it closes that chapter, but opens a whole other one of Clinton just being constantly under siege, and this hanging over her head, Republicans always on the verge of maybe doing a little bit too much, and we'll see how that.
But John, I think there were a lot of things that Comey said that could give Republicans a fair amount of ammunition headed into the fall. He criticized her for not being sophisticated enough to know whether understand the classified systems and markings of all these emails. He said that hostile actors could have potentially gotten access to her emails. He said it was a reasonable assumption to assume that the deleted emails included classified information, and also the Benghazi committee, the House Oversight Committee is going to issue a referral this coming week to the FBI to investigate whether she lied to the Benghazi committee about whether any of her emails included classified markings. She said they did not during her testimony last year. So the political fight will continue. The Republicans are going to try to keep this alive, even if she does survive any legal jeopardy.
They're also saying, the speaker says he's going to ask the intelligence community to not allow her access to classified information as a candidate. Once you get through the conventions, the two major candidates are entitled to classified briefings to essentially prepare them, to get them ready for the day they could be president. And also, to your point, I mean, Comey was a Clinton defender in the sense that he said she didn't do anything criminal. They didn't do anything wrong. He sort of made clear if she applied for any job at the FBI that involved computer use, she wouldn't get it, in his view. But if this goes as expected, and she's standing in New Hampshire on Tuesday, and Bernie Sanders is at her side, at a time when we're going into the Republican convention, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, where there's still a lot of rumbling in the family, does that matter?
Does it matter?
The Democratic unity, you've got the president on board.
Yeah.
She's going to campaign with the vice president. It was postponed because of Dallas, but she's got the vice president. She's got Elizabeth Warren, and now she's going to get her primary rival, who was, at times pretty scathing in his criticism of her.
Democrats have been more unified from the beginning than Republicans. They get an opportunity this week, according to your reporting, to show that. They get an opportunity to try to put the emails behind her, but you guys are correct that it depends on how the Republicans try to push that forward. Can Clinton at some point say this is an old story, it's over and done with, or are there ways, such as Paul Ryan's move, to continue to make headlines, to continue to remind people of this story?
Wolf Blitzer tried to, in the interview she did, the hearing went on. She did not speak after Comey spoke, and then he had a hearing in Congress. Hillary Clinton had not said anything publicly. She wanted to let the hearing play out. In an interview with Wolf Blitzer, she's trying to put this behind her, and she's trying to say, well, if I did anything wrong, I wasn't the only one.
Over 300 people were on these email exchanges. some on many, some on a few. And these were experienced professionals who have had great years of dealing with classified material. And whatever they sent me, they did not believe and had, in my view, no reason to believe at the time that it was classified.
I get it, but why does she have to be so lawyerly? No reason to believe at the time, and why does she have to say over 300 people were on these email exchanges? So we all screwed up. Why can't she just say, "I made a mistake. It was a horrible mistake. The more I learn about it, looking at what the FBI said, now that I see all the context of it, God, it was even worse than I thought, and it will never happen again." What's wrong with that?
She's Hillary Clinton, and she's a lawyer, and she's a diplomat, and she is trying to finesse a situation that's sticky for her, right? I mean, the talking point from the Clinton campaign is this is now over. It's time to move on. I think the Bernie Sanders thing helps her because if you remember, he was sort of her best ally on this issue during the primaries, getting up in that debate and saying, "I'm tired of hearing about your damn emails."
Right.
A lot of his supporters still think that he could have pushed that issue harder and made more headway against her in the primary, but because even her biggest antagonist thought it was a dumb issue, that was a sort of powerful selling point for her. I think there's enough damning language in the Comey statement, as Manu said, and enough lingering issues that this still creates baggage for her. But the fact that the party is coming together and the fact that this formal investigation is concluded is obviously a major selling point for her.
We will see Jim Comey in TV ads pretty soon, I suspect, from either the Trump campaign or Republican super PAC.